Good evening. This is CTV News for Tuesday, June 30th. I'm Gina Barty.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thanks for joining us tonight. Well, legal motions heard all day yesterday, but the official start of the trial began today for the man accused of ordering the death of his uncle to prevent him from testifying in a murder case. Patricia Vallone is standing by at the courthouse with details.
Opening statements began today in the case of Brian Mayhew and two co-defendants, Stanley Winston and Anthony Cannon. Now, Mayhew is accused of ordering from prison the murder of his uncle Nico Mayhew. The hit was allegedly set up by Brian to prevent his uncle from testifying in the 2011 murders of Sean Ellis and Anthony McKelvin. Today's first witness was the mother of the victim, who described the tragic day in December 2012 when she heard gunshots outside of the front door of her Seat Pleasant apartment. She vividly described the bloody scene and how she pulled her toddler grandson to safety, only to learn he too had been shot in the arm. He has since recovered from his injury. Now, in cross-examination, the defense brought up the victim's past drug dealing and how he was at the scene of the double murder of Ellis and McKelvin back in 2011 and allegedly cut a deal with police to testify against his nephew Brian. Now, the trial is expected to last 2 weeks. From Upper Marlboro, I'm Patricia Vallone, CTV News.
July is typically the deadliest month on the water in Maryland. State officials say there have been 8 boating fatalities so far this year. There were 12 deaths total for all of 2014. Going into the holiday weekend, Natural Resources Police are ramping up safety efforts as well as cracking down on illegal crabbing. Rochelle Metzger is in Annapolis with more.
Since we've been here at Jonas Green Park in Annapolis, the weather has gone from rainy to sunny to extremely windy, which just goes to show how quickly weather changes can creep up on you. And on the heels of 3 tragic accidents on the Chesapeake Bay over the weekend, Maryland police are stepping up their water safety efforts. The choppy water and high winds are keeping the O'Hearn family on shore.
Today is too windy to be on the water. If it's going to be rainy or lightning, we find something else to do.
Today, that's fishing. Dad Paul says the family also likes to kayak.
Both of them know to swim, first off, and then whenever we're going paddling or on a boat, we're always wearing PFDs, we're always wearing appropriate life vests.
Those are just a few of the safety measures Maryland Natural Resources Police say are critical when out on the water.
Make sure you do a pre-float inspection. It's always good to have somebody else on board that knows how to operate your boat. Develop a float plan.
This after 3 fatal boating accidents this past weekend, one at a popular racing event.
We're going to have to take a look at this and see what other measures need to be taken to make sure that something like this does not happen again.
Meanwhile, officials are kicking off the second year of the Don't Get Pinched campaign, which focuses on minimum sizes, possession limits, harvest hours, and crab pot registration rules.
Natural Resources police officers will use every enforcement tool available, including saturation patrols, undercover operations, night vision equipment, and cameras and radar units.
According to the Department of Natural Resources, the number of adult female blue crabs in the Chesapeake Bay remains well below target levels. Now, officials say the Don't Get Pinched campaign is all about knowing the law, and regulations do change on July 15th. You can go on DNR's website for new limits and sizes. Reporting in Annapolis, I'm Rochelle Metzger, CTV News.
Meanwhile, authorities continue the search for a 32-year-old Silver Spring man who disappeared when his boat capsized off Kent Island on Sunday. 4 family members with him at the time were pulled from the water and taken to an area hospital. Well, with the 4th of July less than 5 days away, rescue officials want to make sure residents practice safe grilling. Mark Brady with the Prince George's Fire Department says that when using gas grills, make sure all connections are tight and there are no leaks. If you're using charcoal, make sure it's cooled off before you dispose it.
It's 4th of July is coming up. Everybody's planning on grilling out. It looks like it's going to be a great day. You know, temperatures in the 80s. Possibility of a thunderstorm later on in the afternoon. And one thing we don't want people to do, if that rain or thunderstorm interferes with your party and your barbecuing, do not move your grill inside a garage or a shed or anything like that. It creates a large amount of carbon monoxide, and we don't want anybody to become sick or possibly start a fire by you moving that grill inside. Never cook with the grill inside.
That fireworks are illegal in Prince George's County.
And while many families like to head out to parks during the 4th of July weekend, some entrances may have to be shut down temporarily due to capacity limitations. Sandy Point, Greenbrier, Cunningham Falls, Assateague, Calvert Cliffs, Patapsco Valley, Point Lookout, and Rocky Gap could be impacted by heavy crowds. As a result, state park officials may limit access. Now, park police say temporary closures are done as a safety measure for all visitors.
Well, the governor from the Garden State has thrown in his hat into the 2016 presidential race. Governor Christie of New Jersey announced this morning at his high school alma mater that he is running for president. Back in 2014, Christie stumped for Maryland Governor Larry Hogan. During his campaign, Christie joins over a dozen Republican candidates who want the party's nomination.
And Rashern Baker wants you. Are you interested in serving on the Prince George's School Board? Well, County Executive Baker now accepting applications from residents for the at-large seat being vacated by Dr. Daniel Kaufman. Applications are due by July 27th. They can be found on the county website, or you can pick it up in person at the CAB building in Upper Marlboro.
And you're watching CTV News. I'm Gina Barty.
And I'm Byron Scott.